find it very interesting how when it comes to deck building for various themes here, sometimes you find a lot of crossover and similarities of how they approach it. Ritual Beast being a deck that isn't, I suppose, anywhere near as popular or anywhere near the radar of some of the players this weekend, but yet all of them have seemed to have settled on very similar approaches, which is you play your main engine Ritual Beast cards, but then after that, no hand traps, just full go second gas, other than, of course, the Dip Dimension Shifter, very important Ritual Beast card. But yeah, we see here Eclipses, Dart Rulers, evenly matches. How do we feel about that approach?
Well, that's interesting, because one of the questions I had, we saw Julio win his feature match, but we saw him win the games when he went first, right? So it's always a question mark next to every deck is, you know, almost all decks nowadays, they can do something powerful on their first turn, but the question is, how can you come back if your opponent's gone first? They've done what they wanted to do, and we see the approach here of Julio is to play all these board-breaking cards, evenly matched, Dark Ruler, etc., etc. So let's see how that pans out.
I want to focus a little bit more on one of these field-breaking cards, and that is the Book of Eclipse, because when Snake Eye is the most powerful deck, how good is this against the field?
Yeah, so I think the cool thing about Book of Eclipse, when timed well, it's actually really devastating. So typically a big issue for many decks actually is Apollousa. So what happens is that Masquerena will be activated to try and perform a Link Summon with another body, usually Flamberge, to go into a SP Little Knight. But if you chain Book of Eclipse to that, all of the non-Link monsters get set, and then the Masquerena has to resolve and force a Link Summon, and that actually usually deals with the Apollousa, which you would think a card like Book of Eclipse doesn't in fact normally do that.
That is really strong, but then again the question, why don't you just use Mind Control to take the Apollousa?
Well,
it's Book of Eclipse.
multiple different applications. You can go first, you can go second.
True, yeah.
Various different versatile situations that we've seen something like a Book of Eclipse be in here. As Mauro here is playing through his combo, we see that he has open Snake Eye Ash and Wanted. So this is going to be a full combo here. Perhaps maybe from the fact that they are from a similar community, maybe they know of one another's deck list, perhaps they're familiar with each other's lists, which means that Mauro, I think, will probably want to go in as hard as possible here. Definitely just put up as many disruptions as possible and go through the biggest line that exists in Snake Eye, which is, of course, two cards that you would absolutely be very happy to open in your top 8 match for Game 1, and that is Wanted and Snake Eye Ash.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Mauro will have this challenge of improvising a bit. Maybe what is the best field to end up with here against the Ritual Beasts?
Yeah, I think the biggest scary part of the Ritual Beast deck isn't so much the Ritual Beasts. We can see that the Dimension Shifter has not been used and not been drawn, so after that, you know, you're going to be dealing with the Dart Ruler, the Evenly, as we all mentioned, and the biggest ways to circumvent that, as we saw a beautiful play by some of the duelists on the previous feature, where you can actually end with a Flamberge and a Masquerena both in your spell and trap zone to deal with Dark Ruler, and then at some point when they commit to the field, you can then pop out the Flamberge from the spell and trap zone into Masquerena for your disruption, and that's one cool way to circumvent that. But we'll see what type of field Mauro puts up to try and deal with that exact situation that could potentially be here from Julio's hand.
Did you see Julio like just speeding up Mauro, just fishing out the engraver from his graveyard while he was resolving the
To be honest, I really like that, speeding it up a little bit.
Yeah, Ritual Beast is a deck that I don't think was going to be going to time that often. It really is just sort of like a cinematic experience usually when you play going second cards, isn't it? If you lose the coin, keep calling it coin flip, you know, Macedo brain. You keep losing the dice roll, you will just be watching your opponent play the game, and then finally when it comes to your turn, you can start using these really powerful go second cards.
Yep. At this point, when we're looking at this combo, how good would Nibiru the Primal Being be?
Yeah, Nibiru would be really strong, but the thing is, I think Mauro is specifically taking some lines here that don't actually respect Nibiru, because most likely is aware of the fact that Julio is not on any disruption. So yeah, while Nibiru is a super powerful card against Snake Eye, it's not really that good unless you pair it with other cards. And specifically in this situation, we don't have to worry about anything like that.
I would definitely agree on that. However, I'm always quite confused when we're deciding to go for lines that don't respect Nibiru and you're really going for this Apollousa just for your end field to disrupt your opponent on his turn. Why aren't we going for an Apollousa with more material?
I think it's just a very convenient way to make Appaloosa using the Link 3, because I don't know what other use you have for the Link 3 body, so you might as well just invest that into an Appaloosa. And I think if you get 2 negations out of an Appaloosa, you're probably happy already.
There's not really too many monster effects being activated from Ritual Beast that you can kind of like worry about, in the sense that, you know, when Snake Eye Ash comes down, you use Appaloosa, but then you also have to deal with the second effect. Normally there's quite a few stops on Ritual Beast immediately as they progress through their combo. Something like Lara, for example, could just cut them off immediately if you negate that with an Appaloosa. So really important card effects are kind of concentrated into the early portion of the deck compared to something like Snake Eye. So yeah, 2 materials, more than enough to deal with the situation. Plus, of course, you do want to vary up your different forms of disruption in the shape of things like the Desiree, the Masquerena, and again, just diversifying your end field is a very, very important way to deal with the go second field breaking ability of a deck like Julio's, built specifically to go second. Well, probably obviously wants to go first, but, you know, built in such a way that going second is going to be an easier time versus Snake Eye, rather than praying with the hand traps, essentially.
And now the Desiree is sitting there next to the Appaloosa. And how are we going to get back into our Snake Eye engine? Yes, there it is. The original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye is going to send away the Snake Eye Ash from the field, getting back the Oak, or getting the Oak from the deck. Oak is going to activate, and now I wasn't worried for a little second that we have issues getting a Flamberge onto the field with an IP Masquerena. But I think...
Yeah, never any issues.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a fairly valid point. It's always something to worry about. But Mauro had it all under control with his original.
Is that so? Because I think, I mean, I would have thought you kind of need to get another body on the field here, right? If you have something else, of course, then be happy to go for it. However, if we don't have anything else in Sequentia does attach now, but we needed something else on the field. I almost thought we would have to go for sending the Temple away to go for a Flamberge from the deck and then summon IP out. Is this a possible misstep in the combo?
I am a little confused how we've not ended up with a Flamberge used at any point during the turn.
There's no Princess.
Yeah, no, that's a bit odd. I'm not sure if we've taken a specifically different line for another reason that I can't quite give you the answer for just now. It'll have to be something that we'll take a look at afterwards in the analysis. But yeah, Mauro has actually just ended on IP Mask and Desiree, forgoing the Flamberge access, not having Promethean Princess. So yeah, this might be somewhat of a gift to Julio. We'll see. I do think I spot a couple of hand traps in Mauro's hand, however, so that's definitely huge.
Now we're giving away the Temple, which is going to lead to follow-up for the next turn. Of course, the original Sinful Spoils has already been activated, but that means that we can go for a Promethean Princess here. Go.
Okay, yeah, it looks like we are going to go for Princess to revive.
That works.
Probably one of the Snake Eyes that haven't used the effect to summon from the deck. However, I'm wondering what we're going to send in order to bring out Flamberge
the
here.
Princess. And then we put the IP back into the Spawn Trap Zone. I think that's already...
Okay, yep, no, that works out.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting line.
Yeah, done it in a, shall we say, unique way here, but it should actually work out quite nicely as we go for most likely a Nightmare Phoenix to co-link with the Apple, also protecting it from battle, and then floating the 2 more bodies here. Off of the Flamberge. I feel like it is a bit of a shame that we've lost Temple. I definitely think that you could have done this in a different way here. Oh, actually, we're just going to keep the...
Passing, and now the Promethean Princess is floodgating ourselves from summoning out the IP Masquerena.
Okay.
But I mean, the thing is, this is still a huge field to be answered for Julio, so he definitely needs those field breaker cards. Is opening with the Lara discard. The Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara.
I feel like, given the chance, you just take a negate, right? I can see Nadir just hovering over the Desiree there. That can, in fact, negate the Princess, so I think that's quite a relevant point there.
Yeah, so I was trying to check to see here, to see exactly what we can do here. I feel like maybe what we're going to do is summon Masquerena after we negate with the Desiree, probably negating our Princess to mean that we can actually summon non-fire monsters, and in the process negating one of our opponent's monsters. But this is one of the most powerful starters in the shape of Lara. However, the Elder is not paired up with a Canahawk or a Rampengu, just an Apelio. but it shouldn't be too bad here because the Apelio can actually banish the Lara. Lara then triggers to special summon any Ritual Beast monster from the deck here, so that's maybe how we're going to access Kanahawk or Rampengu.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not great without the Lara, but with the Lara, it's fantastic, isn't it? Because you banish it and, yeah, get that sort of emergency teleport-like effect. Ideal for Mauro would be the way to just get these monsters straight off the field, but I don't know how he can do that. He's just got effect negation, really, so...
Also, what is missing now is, we're going into
It's
the
a battle phase.
This is 1,800 attack points on this adorable little lion. It's going to run straight over the Appaloosa because it was only at 1,600 attack points. And now this is something... This looks like you can play a lot with this. There's still a lot of hand interactions on the side of Mauro. The Lara is going to be banished.
Yeah, so banishing the Lara with the effect of Apelio here, this gives your Ritual Beasts another 500 attack for the rest of this turn here, even ones that aren't then summoned, are summoned thereafter. And that's going to fetch a Winda from the deck here, so we've got a rank 4 play potentially, but I think we're most likely going to start going into those ulti Kanahawk plays that are so important to the heart and soul of the Ritual Beast deck.
So do you, like, I know you have to, the Kanahawk can sort of tag out as a quick effect to get around things.
Ghost Mourner on Winda.
But Winda doesn't really do anything on the field, right? It just, the only effect it has is if it gets destroyed by card effect, it special summons something out from the deck, right?
Yeah. This Mourner is questionable to me. So I'm not sure what the Mourner was trying to achieve there, but regardless,
is this a quick effect of...
Oh, wow.
Maybe that was what was going on.
All right, looks like we're going to
Yes, it is.
So this is still the battle phase. But still, like, what did the Mourner do, even though it was in the battle phase?
Well, I mean, the monster that is sent from Mourner will be taking some life point damage here, so 16 from the Winda. Now, when the Winda is destroyed, it can summon any Ritual Beast monster from the extra deck.
I misread earlier. It said only card effect, but it's also battle. It's just an opponent's card.
This can summon anything from the extra deck? That's super cool.
Yeah, you can summon Ulti-Gaia Apelio if you want. Means you can get rid of the Desiree. But it looks like we're going to go for the Ritual Beast Link 4 here, the Retoragia. And this is... is this big enough to attack over Desiree? Ooh, no, it's 28.
This one's 26.
26, yeah, no, that's a little bit smaller here.
How big is Desiree?
It's 28, but we do have the Apelio boost, remember, so it is at 31 now.
Well, that makes a huge difference, so you kind of have to use the Desiree now?
Yeah, so I think they're just clarifying how the Apelio works, but it does actually give your monsters a boost, even if they weren't currently on the field, which is a super relevant part of the effect here.
Julio kind of making mincemeat of this field with just his, like, engine, which is a super mark of a very powerful deck.
You can see here that just before the Desiree was attacked over, Mauro did use the effect to negate his own princess.
Yeah.
That means that we are no longer fire-locked, so at any point here, the Flamberge will be able to pop out the Masquerena and go for a Link summon. You can see in the process as well, Desiree sends when it's sent to the field, sent to the grave here. So it's going to get rid of the Ritual Beast Elder, but that doesn't really matter because we have the Contact Fusion, very similar to Phantom of Yubel. Yes, Ritual Beasts do have a themed one. It's Nochi Drago. All right, now on Resolution here, we're going to summon Oh, wow, we have an incident in the hall here.
Wow, I think this might have been the electricity that has been going off. Wow, that is...
So we're just going to pause for a moment here. I just saw a fuse box explode.
Yeah,
that
took
was
out a lot of the
sight
lights.
to see. Hi, yeah, Ritual Beasts... bear with us, technical difficulties, no doubt.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I think just maybe a light box went, but there was quite a lot of fire very briefly. So
Do we have electricity? Are we still live?
Can you guys see us?
I have no idea if we're still
I
live.
believe we're still live here.
I don't know if we're still live for the people at home.
Oh, we're still live.
So-
Okay, nice.
We have an unprecedented situation here. Nothing like this. Everyone, please remain calm.
Yes.
Those of you in the hall here present, please remain in your seats. I don't know, should we be evacuating? I
Nothing.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Nothing
okay.
dangerous happened there. There was a. I'm absolutely overwhelmed with the situation.
Are we
Actually,
going? Okay.
Just a little light box popped and it made a very loud noise, so everyone is startled a little bit. We are just
to clarify the situation, if you're wondering what's going on here, we are in the middle of a Ritual Beast combo. I don't. Is the match still going? I'm not even sure.
They're waiting.
A literal explosion occurred from a fuse box that I can directly see in front of me here. The lights have been short-circuited. It's now dark just about. The only light we have here is the softboxes.
So we have electricity. That's why we're also light.
Yeah. Okay, production, perhaps we can go to a short intermission. Is that possible? Maybe we can maybe guess the cards while we try and deal with fire safety situation here. No, production? Hi, welcome everyone. Sorry about that. We had a bit of a Kashtira Big Bang. So basically just give you a bit of awareness of what's going on here. We just had a little bit of a fuse box incident. I suppose was a lot more theatrical than it actually was. Everything is safe. Everything is under control. Don't worry. But yeah, we're going to proceed as normal here. We've just lost a little bit of light in various areas of the venue. So we are currently in the middle of our top 8 duel for this EU WCQ. Let's just head back on over to the table and continue with this match.
Yep, so right back to the match that is going to decide if you're going to the World Championships or not. We are still in main phase 2, I believe, as we have contact fused. So far, there was a lot happening in the battle phase, and now IP Masquerena has been summoned out by Flamberge and is now going to be sent to the
oh no, does he know? Does he know? Oh, okay, all right, we're going to go for the silhouette here. So I was going to point out that I think if he went for an SP Little Knight, I don't think anything would have happened because Nochi Drago actually has some interesting protection. Your opponent can target other Ritual Beast monsters you control with card effects, and it has a quick effect, of course, to return. So Mauro not going for the SP Little Knight probably does recognize that it is untargetable. Probably had some time to read the card during the pyrotechnics, I suppose, you know, a little bit of free time there.
To be honest, if he announced it, he would have had, because there is no card in Julio's graveyard, he would have had to banish a card on his own.
Yeah, that is
possible.
Well,
So
it's other ones, so you could target the Nochi Drago, but then the Nochi Drago could just tag out.
Ah, right.
So that would be the thing here. Julio actually has some follow-up into an emergency teleport now. So we're going to special summon a psychic monster out of our deck here. It's going to be Lara. Yeah.
Does Princess target?
Princess?
Yes.
Promethean?
Yeah.
Does it?
It does.
Okay. So
we can't use it while the Nochi Draco is in play.
yeah, that's really cool because the Nochi Drago is just offering that protection from the Promethean Princess, and at any point, if Promethean Princess, well, I mean, you won't be able to target the Nochi Drago regardless. So we're kind of going to be able to play here somewhat uninhibited on Julio's side here as we activate the effect of Ulti Canahawk, targeting 2 monsters to return. And then it's most likely going to tag out here into the 2 Ritual Beasts that have not been special summoned this turn. Remember, the condition, I suppose, the restriction of Ritual Beasts is that each Ritual Beast can only be special summoned once per turn. You can see this is the first time we're special summoning Lara and regular Apelio now.
And Julio is now very fitting in the situation, popping off. And I'm quite curious to see what he's actually going to end on this turn, because if he goes for an Arch Nemesis Protos, this could stop the entire next turn for Mauro, right?
Yeah, so one of the advantages of Ritual Beast is in the process of getting all of your names in circulation, performing various link summons, and then setting up with the steeds. You can then get a rank 4 play, go for the Infernal Banshee. The Infernal Banshee then allows you to search the Nemesis flag. Flag then gets you Protos, and we have a fire on the field, which means that you can Protos declare fire, and that would be absolutely huge for Julio in this matchup.
Is the Banshee ever going to be able to resolve, though, through the Princess in the graveyard? So you've got to figure out a way to either force out the Princess or the Flamberge.
That is a very, very good point. Yes, the Princess is still live. It won't be able to be used on any Ritual Beast monster because of the protection of Nochi Drago, but it will be able to be used on non-Ritual Beasts, and that would be the Flame Banshee.
I think maybe just pointing out there that the rank 4 was not summoned properly. It's a bit weird to not summon Link monsters properly.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Sorry, we're just having a little bit of an...
Okay, so Infernal Flame Banshee is... I want to see. It is going to be able to search only after it... After it is summoned. It's not on summon, it is after the summon. So a Promethean Princess would actually be able to get rid of that Protos problem that might come up. But we've seen Julio in previous games already having the Nemesis flag in his hand.
So Julio's done quite a lot. He's done a pretty good job of dealing with some of the problems, and he's starting to play here, which is a massive step in itself against any deck and against the Snake Eye deck. But the Snake Eye deck is known for quite a lot of follow-up. So is Julio going to be able to establish enough or deal with enough of Mauro's cards to deal with the inevitable comeback on Mauro's next turn?
So what you can see is going on right now is that Julio's actually going for a Masquerena, using the Kimon Falco, and trying to go for a Link 4 here. And basically, The name of the game here is that we have to try and force out this princess. That is the summon of an access code talker targeting to boost itself by 2,000. Remember, this is main phase 2, so we're not going to try and go for game here. But we are going to be using it to destroy. The princess is just not being used.
Well, you can't use the princess,
Exactly.
right? Because you can't respond to access code talker's effects.
That is very true, yeah.
And this is a novel way to start banishing...
Oh, did we just hard draw Protos?
Wow,
Nice!
that is so good. He didn't even hard draw the Nemesis flag. He just actually went for the Protoss immediately.
All right, we're using the Promethean Princess here to attempt to destroy the Protoss, but all it's going to do is summon a body onto the field. Oh, this is very smart. Yes, we're special summoning the Princess now, despite the fact that the Protoss cannot be destroyed. We want to trigger our Flambird regardless, just to try and get some resources back to our hand here. Oak can recycle back to the hand. Poplar can get a search as well. But the problem is that none of this is actually going to deal with the Firelock. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe he just has an impermanence face down, if he's so lucky to have one like that. I mean, I'm just imagining like what else impermanence would have been used on this turn, and I can't think of much else.
Ghost Mourner would have been nice here, huh?
To be honest, I was just thinking access code talker can remove itself from the field as well. I know we know that there is the sinful spoils, so I think access code talker should use the effect, banish the Wind Link monster from the graveyard, pop the last card that is set. Oh, we actually also know which that one is.
Yes,
so,
the Azarun that was searched earlier in the duel here off of the Silhouette Hat Rabbit.
Valor is a thing though, right? So I think that he also still has... I think he had Ash Blossom and Valor in hand. Actually, Mauro was ending the turn on 3 hand traps. And yeah, wasn't actually using those so far, except for the Ghost Mourner that did absolutely nothing.
It did a lot of damage, let's be fair. It did 800 and then another 1,600.
Okay,
so
all right. Just as a small announcement for those of you watching live, we do need to do something about this situation that's happened in the venue here. Apologies for that. We're just going to give a small announcement. It's going to be made by Ed here. Yeah, we'll be back shortly as soon as we organize and figure out what's going on in here.
Thank you very much, all of you at home, for watching this, and for everyone in our audience here. Following the incident that we've just had earlier, we're going to have to make some safety checks, and we've been advised to evacuate the room that we're in, which means we're going to pause this. However, the stream will remain running, so if you're watching at home, stay tuned. We will be back soon to carry on this Round 8 feature match, and we will carry on with the rest of this as we head towards the final. Fear not, you will have plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming your way, but for the safety of all of our duelists, we have been advised, while they make some safety checks and security checks, to evacuate the room. Thank you very much for your understanding. We will be right back with more duels.